in this Into the Outdoors at Home edition.
Okay, 4 toes, claws, pretty long stride.
Hey, Zach.
Ah! Oh, it's just you.
Who'd you expect? Bigfoot?
Nah, he's got way bigger feet than these.
Hey now, my feet aren't that big.
I'm trying to figure out which animal left these tracks in my yard last night. I've narrowed it down to 3 possibilities.
Which are?
A wolverine, an armadillo, or my neighbor's cat, Princess Cuddlekins.
Right. Well, could you take a break from that? We just had a question come in from a viewer, and I think you're gonna like this one.
Hey, Adventure Team! I learned in school the elk were limited in my state, Wisconsin, for over 130 years. But today, they roam the forest regions in large numbers. My teacher said Native American tribes have something to do with their returns. My question is, how did the elk come back, and why?
She's right. I remember my friend James talking about how bringing the elk back to Wisconsin was a big deal for his tribe.
Great. Can you tell us more?
Yeah, I bet he can.
Then let's go
into the outdoors.
Grab your gear and let's explore as we discover the wild outdoors. Science, discovery, it's what we do. You can make our earth a bright and better place by joining us in this wide open space. Into the outdoors.
Okay, so I called my friend James. He's part of the Ojibwe tribe, part of the Ojibwe nation. He knows someone who can tell us about why the elk are so important to the tribe's culture and the reasons behind bringing them back.
Awesome. Well, you do that. I'll see what I can find out about how the elk came here, where they are today, and who's looking after them.
Sounds like a plan. Catch you later.
See ya.
Oh, well, you see,
I gotta go. Yeah.
Okay. Before we dive into the question at hand, let's learn more about elk. Elk are one of the largest terrestrial, meaning they live on land, mammals in North America. They're part of the deer family, and perhaps best known for the bull's bugle call, a hair-raising, high-pitched whistle and grunt that carries for more than a mile. Elk are also called wapiti, a name derived from a Shawnee Indian word meaning white rump. Elk are very adaptable and live in a wide range of habitats, from meadows to rainforests and hardwood forests to desert valleys. Before European settlement, an estimated 10 million elk roamed the United States and Canada. But because of unregulated hunting, loss of habitat, and urbanization throughout the 1800s, there were less than 100,000 elk in North America by the early 20th century, and elk east of the Mississippi completely disappeared. But here's some good news. In recent years, restoration programs and conservation groups have successfully reintroduced elk to wilderness areas where they once roamed, particularly in states east of the Mississippi, like Wisconsin. Today, an estimated 1 million elk live in the western US and Canada. Okay, back to the mission at hand. Hey, James.
Hey, Zach, glad you made it.
Glad to be here.
I got this elder I want you to meet. He'll help you out with your question.
Oh, that would be great.
Zach, this is my friend Dennis White from the Ojibwe tribe. He's a longtime teacher and a cultural leader.
Nice to meet you.
Bonjour. Good to see you guys.
Thanks so much for having us here. I'm interested in learning more about what bringing the elk back to Wisconsin has done for the Ojibwe tribes.
I think it's a symbolic thing of restoring our very ways of life in some way. I mean, I'm really happy that that we have what we do have. You know? Mm-hmm. We have our ways, and we still have our language, and we need to spread that further and bring those ways back.
Historically, how were the elk used by the native tribes?
I think they were used like any of the resources we have. They're used in the best way. And it was harvested. It wasn't just so that you could put something on the wall, and it wasn't just for sport. It was a way of maintaining your very way of life, maintaining your subsistence, your existence. Nobody told us we needed a certain amount of protein or anything, but we knew we needed that, and we knew we needed the vegetables that we raised, and we knew we needed the berries that were grown all around us. It was for our people so that they could be strong and be who they're supposed to be, good, healthy people.
Dennis, why was it important that Native tribes be a part of the releasing of the elk and bringing them back?
I think it's important because it's part of the reviving of our culture. We have to keep our culture alive, and the parts that aren't alive, we have to awaken them somehow. That's what the elk being brought back here were meant to do. It was meant to not only just so that people can say we revived the elk, but we revived the elk because they were at one time part of us.
Well, thank you for just talking to me, just giving me information about why elk is so important to you and your culture.
Well, you guys are important to me too, so I'm glad you're here.
I was really glad I was able to meet Dennis, and he was able to tell me a lot about how elk and bringing them back, it was able to restore a part of his culture that they had lost when the elk first left.